She could not bring back her beloved daughter and best friend, but doesn't the law speak of compensation? When Jessica pt3 met the truck driver who killed her daughter, took him to court, and court ruled in favor of Jessica pt3's family, there was compensation that was supposed to be covered at the end of it all, which was not followed. She sought a solution from police in vain. When Life Stories covered her story, Kampala Metropolitan Police Commander Andrew Kawesi was touched. He requested the Life Stories crew to go back and visit Madame Jessica pt3 together with a small delegation from police.
I was taking them through some of the details and why they needed to come back. And I just informed them that when you put it on TV, the viewers seemed more like disappointed because they said, so what will happen to ordinary people if the wife of a police officer died and it was an accident, there was a culprit, and up to today the following up process is not complete. What will happen to the rest of us? So
in fact, I got so many provoking messages on my Facebook and the internet. People were like, you mean that girl just ended like that? Remember, in Musa's family, they are almost all in the police. And we are pro-government, for sure, as a family. And the people were like, you mean you people, you couldn't even follow that? Your family and their family? So if you can't do that now think of any other ordinary person. Everybody commented, and I said, my God, why did I allow this lady now to come? And she was another one, as you really saw. She was another Ugandan, somebody who was empathetic, and everybody was like, you mean they left owns just to go like that, like a mosquito, like a fly? And I was tormented more now. And in fact, I've been we have been on the father has been admitted actually.
So that's unfortunate.
He had high blood pressure, and I was like, and it was from people we are calling. You people, you mean? Yes, it happens. Yes, it was not intentional, but he was in wrong, over speeding very early in the morning. He accepted the case. The judgment was he accepted, but nothing to be done. No, nothing. And for him, he doesn't even want to hear even that name mentioned.
Yeah.
He doesn't even want to see Musa. In fact, I'm in the dilemma of both of them. Both of them they have not accepted up to today. So I'm ever cancelling the two. Like that. So when those things come in, and Musa said, I tried to follow. And as I tried to follow, people were sending me more, go and get this, go and do this. Of course, he's tormented 3 months. So, said, let me hold. And the boy was released. He got an arrest. Is it warrant of arrest?
Warrant of arrest.
That he could be rearrested. Nothing has been done. He's also far away, So it just went like that, and it was not good. Now we accepted death as Christians. We know we all must die, despite which death. But there is what we have as our rights, as Ugandans, as citizens, as human beings. So we really felt bad.
So, officer here could tell us how they plan to revise that,
Well, first of all, I wasn't on board on the whole incident. I wasn't working in Kampala by then. and I think I was still out of the country when it happened. And I want to say sorry for what happened. Like you just commented, me, I'm a Muslim, I'm not a Christian, I'm a Muslim, but we too believe that death is real, it's a must, and you can't run away from it. How it happens is another thing, but it happens. When it happens, you accept how it comes. So I want to join the rest in saying sorry for what happened, and I want to pray that the Almighty God rest the soul of the deceased in eternal peace. Like you've said before, I work with Mr. Kawesi as this personal assistant and the admin officer within Kampala Metropolitan.
Okay.
He should have come here, but he got caught up and he requested me to join Justin and her team and my colleague here to come and see you. He too sends his message to you, says sorry. He learned of this because actually in 2011 also, Mr. Kawesi was not in Kampala. He wasn't working in Kampala.
Okay.
So he learned this from Justin's piece because we normally watch his television, and Justin and her group discover a lot.
Sure.
Sometimes the thing they bring out, you don't want to imagine they are happening,
True.
but they've happened and sometimes you don't know about it. So he felt concerned, and I think that's how they got in touch with Justin and said, no, we'll have to go and talk to Mama and we'll see if really we can, there is the way that we can do this and get the other person to really feel, one, remorseful, and two, fulfill his obligation as a person who caused the death of the deceased from his reckless driving and conduct on the road, as a person driving on the road. And that's the reason why I'm here with my colleague, to say, because we've come to appreciate, and I think it forms why Justin was trying to put us on board, to appreciate the whole thing and how it happened. And they're saying that, true, when the legal process runs, normally, in cases of this nature, people want to say, Mama, let us sort this kind of thing out of court. Can we look at the aspect of compensation and suppose whether you run away from it or not, it will still come back to you. So it's only unfortunate that at a certain point, he abdicated responsibility to compensate and left you to meet my concern, which is really not good. We condemn that kind of act. It is only important that when you've made a mistake, you should be able to own up and do what is within your ability in agreement with the affected party, and then you sort matters out. My Mr. Kawesi says that after appreciating the whole of the matter as it is, I think we can try to, we will look for the
Case file.
For the case file, because he needs to understand the status of the file. At what stage did it stall? Where is it? So that when you look at it, it will help us to draw inroads into the whole matter and see where to start from. But fast forward is that remedial steps can be taken to have the culprit brought back on board, so that he faces the law and he owns up for whatever mistakes that he should have done. You can't run away from the law. You can run away from Kampala, you can run away from wherever and go where, but the law will catch up with you. And this is not something that can really be left so that someone says, I ran away and nothing has happened. That explains why people are going to say, people, how can this happen?
Sure.
It is more painful that the deceased was a wife to what? To a police officer. To a police officer. So when they look at that, they say, how can this happen? But I think for us, we are saying it's not about being a police officer. It's not about being, for example, whatever in kind of status. Are you a Ugandan? Yeah. Are you a human being? Do you have your rights? How are these rights protected when they are abused by any other person? I think that's the bottom line.
Yeah. That's
the bottom line. And we want to pursue this in respect of the bottom line that everybody has a right.
Yeah.
And if one goes against that right, then really the law has to catch up with that person and you answer for the wrongs that you've committed.
You know why people are commenting like that?
No.
Of course they expected, being the officer.
Yeah.
He knows what should be.
Yeah.
But again, they forget that it was too much for him.
It was too much for him.
Too much.
Timon Musinguzi had an unexpected visit from the Life Stories crew after we heard his story from a close friend of his, Apollo Tumwesije. Timon did not ask for money or a house, but he cried out for employment.
So Timon, how can one make life easier for you? How can we help you?
The most important thing is that I cannot say that someone can assist me in paying the school fees for my kids, but I want at least to have a job. At least a job, so that I can survive and get the money for paying for my kids.
You want a job?
I want a job. That's the most important thing. Because I look at the situation, when I look at some other people, for instance, next week they are going back to school. When I will just see them going back to school and remain home, I just get. But not necessarily of teaching, any job I can work. Because first of all, I'm a graduate. And being a graduate, really, and you remain at home, digging, it disturbs my head. It looks as if he didn't study.
God did answer Timon's call through Handcuffed Uganda. Today, Timon is up by 6 a.m. to prepare for a long day ahead. Timon Musinguzi from Bushenyi district had an unexpected visit from the Life Stories crew after we heard his story from a close friend of his, Apollo Tumwesije. Timon did not cry out for money or for a house. Timon cried out for a job. And after we aired his show on Life Stories about how he has not been employed for 4 full years, yet he's a qualified teacher, different people called on him for jobs. We shall be letting you know in our next follow-up where Timon is going to work. His life has also changed. And we have other people whose lives have changed that we are not able to get on the show. Some were not in the country, some were here and there. But people have really responded very well to all the guests that needed help in this show. That is what Life Stories is all about, and that is all we need in this world. However cruel things may get, a hurting person simply needs a helping hand and somebody to say it's going to be okay. You can never have enough to help. It is a sacrifice, whether small or not, it makes a difference, and most importantly, it's got to come from the heart. We also thank our dear guests like Pecos Kutesa. He has been called on different functions to give motivational speeches after we aired his life-changing story from addiction to a good man here on Life Stories. Today he is a motivational speaker. People like Mrs. Juliet Mayombo have been approached by people to strengthen them, to talk to them, because here on the show, people picked a lot of strength from them. But our dear viewers, it is unfortunate that I have to inform you, we still have people that have not yet got the help that they need. That little boy, William Sechanzi, is still struggling. He's not yet had his surgery, and you remember that he was in terrible pain. And also, Nsereko Mzamiru from Masaka district has also not gotten all the money that he needs for his medical attention. That was it on Life Stories today. Thank you so much. You are the best. I'll see you next time. Life Stories continues same time, Sunday 5 p.m. and a repeat on Thursday 1:30 p.m. It is proudly brought to you by Radiant Products. Keep giving us those stories. Send us your say on 6565. Tell us what you want to see on this show. Give us your view. And also, remember you can still catch all the shows that we have done on Life Stories on our YouTube page, that is NTV Life Stories. And also, give us your say about this show on our Facebook and Twitter pages. That is still NTV Life Stories. I remain Justine, your host, and I'll see you next time.